Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed the last little mini-series on the iconic band Fleetwood Mac. And through just their creative genius, their harmonies and the whole thing, their longevity, we looked at how that can inspire us in our own lives. So I trust you found that one encouraging. We're moving on to a band that was started in 1994 in Seattle in Washington. The story started though with the band Nirvana. And when Kurt Cobain took his own life in 1994, the drummer Dave Grohl said, well, what am I going to do now? And of course, when Dave was kind of on looking for another band, there were no shortage of offers and things for him to get involved in. But he said, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. And so after some auditioning and looking at people and all the rest of it, he formed the Foo Fighters. Some other guys that have been part of the Foo Fighters and still are: Pat Smear, Chris Shiflett, Nate Mendel, and Taylor Hawkins. Well, wasn't that a shock? His recent death really has rocked the music world because he's only 50 years old. And we know how incredible talent, what an amazing drummer he was, and vocalist and all the rest of it. So real loss to the world. And my thoughts really are with the Foo Fighters and also the Hawkins family as well. Recent addition, Rami Jaffe on keyboards. I think Foo Fighters is just a massive sound, and they just knew everything they can to just enhance it. And it wasn't going to give me a matter of time before they brought in some keyboards as well. The Foo Fighters apparently got their name from the nickname that the artillery Air Force give to unidentified flying objects or UFOs. So there we go. Between 1995 and 2021, there's been 10 studio albums, 5 live albums, 3 compilation albums, 6 video albums, 55 music videos, and we'll get on to a couple of those in a minute, 10 EPs, 57 singles, and 51 other appearance/collaborations. And now, of course, we're talking early 90s, and certainly Nirvana, grunge was the thing back then, and Foo Fighters literally kept that going. But they've expanded their kind of style to grunge, post-grunge. Isn't it amazing where all these genres come from? Alternate rock, hard rock, and a bit of pop rock in there as well. And as I said, Nirvana very influential in the songwriting of Dave Grohl in particular. These guys have won some awards too, 11 Grammy Awards. There we go, right there. 3 Kerrang Awards, MTV Music Video Awards. They were the first band to ever receive a Global Icon Award through MTV, and they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2021, the first year that they were eligible for that. Elton John's another one that got that honour, and so very well regarded by fans and very well regarded by the industry. These guys have sold around 32 million albums. Now, interestingly, I was on a plane going from Adelaide to Perth. I just happened to be on the same plane that the Big Day Out bands were actually on. And I actually got to sit behind the Foo Fighters in a plane. And I sort of saw Taylor in particular, and I just was going to say hi. And Dave actually said to me, look, tell you what, this is kind of a bit of a trick. We really need to have a rest, so no worries. Thank you for saying hi, though. So I got to meet Dave Grohl. It's pretty cool. Taylor had this beautiful, peaceful sleep, tiredness and sleep thing happening. And so, yes, understandable. Because touring around Australia is a pretty grueling affair. Pretty long, big flights. Adelaide to Perth is about 3 hours of flying. So, when you're on the last leg, it can be a bit tiring. But yeah, it's nice to actually see these guys in person. Never actually been to one of their concerts though, but whenever I do stumble on a YouTube clip, I think, well, these guys are they're an absolute powerhouse, these guys. So energetic, so full of life, and really give their fans such a good show. They know how to entertain as well, because they've been doing some things of late with collaborations with other people, and some of the other songs that they do as well. I suppose the song I met the Foo Fighters through was Learning to Fly. This came off their There Is Nothing Less to Lose album from 1999, and this particular video clip won a Grammy Award. So there we go. Learning to Fly, I suppose, use the video clip very much focuses on, what happens on an airplane, and, what, what happens, and, planes are all about flying, and all the hosts and hostesses and the pilots, all the stuff that enable us to fly. But there's obviously a bit more of a philosophical approach to this one as well. And this concept of flying. Not physically flying, because human beings can't physically fly, but the concept of philosophically flying, or, getting into a niche, getting into a groove that really, and you really know that you're alive. And given that the Foo Fighters started in 1994, and this is 1999, this has really truly been the journey for Dave Grohl in particular, who went from being the drummer of Nirvana to the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, and thinking, wow, I'm really alive right here. I'm really knowing what it means to live. I'm really knowing what it means to do what I want to do. I'm so glad that I kept to my vision for a new band, and that I have actually really made able to change the world, really. The Foo Fighters have done that is for sure. So the question for you at the moment is, now obviously we can't fly if we're stuck to the ground. We can't walk. If we're walking on the ground and we're just walking and doing our thing and not even contemplating what else there could be for us, we're never going to learn to fly. And of course the whole concept of flying too is, as human beings, we can't fly. Not physically anyway. But philosophically, on the other hand, we can learn to live, we can learn to experience life in all of its fullness, but we're going to have to leave the ground, leave the familiarity of our lives sometimes, and discover that bit of our lives that we know is waiting for us, and waiting to take us on and to move us on and to excite us. This is what learning to fly is all about. Now, obviously, Dave Grohl is flying. He was certainly flying at the point that he wrote this song and did this video, and the concept of the fact that, hey, I can be really creative. I can do really exciting stuff because I've learned how to fly. And I think the challenge to the Foo Fighters is this, and that is, what it is that it's just gnawing away at you on the inside of thinking, sure, there's got to be more to life than this. We can put it off and pretend it's like not a thing, but eventually it's going to wear you down, and you're going to be thinking, well, hang on a minute, I need to learn to fly myself. So just do something, even as if it's something small, that's going to start that process off. And then obviously we don't fly at the start. We take one little step and see what success that brings, and then we do the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And certainly in the case of the Foo Fighters, the whole world has followed this journey and got behind them. And so the encouragement is, if you do need to do something, make a decision and do it in the next 48 hours. They say that if you do make a decision, you've got to act on it in 2 days, or if you're not going to act on it at all. This is the way human beings are, because we like our routine and our habits. And certainly as you watch these clips later and see, how the Foo Fighters have been able to learn to fly, may this inspire you today. So on to the clip. So yes, we do have to learn to fly. This is the official clip. The thing I love about Foo Fighters official clips is just the fun that they have in telling the story. And this well and truly does that one. You see Dave Grohl and a few different personalities in this clip, and so we got Learning to Fly, the official clip. We then got The Pretender. How good is this song? This came off Echo, Silence, Patience and Grace album of 2007. How good is this song? This is an absolute powerhouse of a song, this one. And given the live version, in this case in Wembley Stadium, you just get to see that, Foo Fighters is just a force of nature. When you've got Dave Grohl's lead vocals, you've got the grunge of the guitars, you've got Taylor's incredible drumming, and everybody else they've got in there. There's even a cello in there, because the song starts off a little bit mellow, and then it just kind of really beefs up. You're thinking, wow, okay, I've been grabbed well and truly by the scruff of the neck here as I listen to this song. So we've got The Pretender. That's an absolutely amazing song of the Foo Fighters, probably my favourite one of theirs, and probably one of the grungiest songs I've got in my collection, actually, if truth be known. We then got Everlong. This came off the 1997 album, The Colour and the Shape. This is in Greece, I'm thinking, and it's just a really good clip. And Dave does a bit of a intro to this song. The song starts about 2 minutes in, but you get to hear that Dave's really about his fans and giving his audience the best show that he can, and how he really does love to connect with his audience. So we've got Everlong. We then got Walk. This came off the Wasting Light album of 2011. This is all about, hey, you know, I'm going through everything and I really want to find my life. And, you know, in this particular clip, it reminds me a little bit of It's Raining Again from Supertramp, this one, where he's just one thing goes after another and his frustration grows and grows and grows. And of course, the only thing that's going to help him is the rehearsal at the end of the day. So we've got a Walk off Wasting Light 2011. This is the official clip. We then got These Days. This is also the official clip, also off Wasting Light. And this is just the whole concept of the fact that the Foo Fighters are pretty big at this point, which involves a lot of touring, a lot of getting away from home, but just giving credit to his family who see their dad and their husband go from time to time. Just realising, hey, this isn't forever. I promise you one day we're going to have a life. But I still need to do this thing at the moment. And so I've got These Days. And then I thought, because we talked about Taylor Hawkins before, found this clip. They say this is one of the last performances he did. Now, he had a pink drum kit, right? So here we hear him doing a drum solo. And here we see him leaving the kit and actually taking up lead vocals for a classic Queen song. So it seemed right to put a bit of a tribute to him in there as well. As again, rest in peace, Taylor. Thank you for the incredible energy that you brought to the world. So the links to that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 clips. Oh, well, there we go. Foo Fighters are pretty big, I suppose. The links to those 6 clips are in the description below. That's where you'll always see my links. I never embed videos in this channel. And if you want to recap on Fleetwood Mac, their last video, that's there for you as well. Well, if you've come back for another video as we've looked at the Foo Fighters today, or if this is your first time to Life Reflections Through Music, thank you. You're very welcome, everybody. Thank you for hanging around to the end. And thank you for the engagement we've been getting of late. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on the band Creed with their song Arms Wide Open. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.